Can you hear me? Nope. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me now? Means I could not hear you. Probably you were able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you
Thank
are
you.
audible.
Does anybody have a question? I'll answer that and then we can move on. अद्वैत यहाँ पे नहीं बेटा, इधर जगह नहीं है. प्लीज 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 उधर आ जाओ, उधर करो. यहाँ पे इस साइड में करना है. ठीक है? हाँ 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 सब टूट जाएगा. Nobody? Akshat, you were the one who asked the question regarding
Yes, sir. Good afternoon,
011 to
sir.
100. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any doubts in that, or means I was thinking about it the
No,
whole?
sir. No, sir. It is clear now. Thank you,
Is
sir.
it okay? Okay.
Sir.
So let us continue with binary numbers. Okay. Before, so now almost everybody would be clear that we need at least two levels to represent a series of numbers. Okay. Binary, you can have more levels, but minimum you need two. So binary, we use binary, and because it makes our life very easy. So there was a question about reproducibility. Okay, so many of you left the class before somebody asked the question about reproducibility. Why do I? So I said that it is much easier to have a reproducible result in case of digital systems as compared to analog systems, and the reason for that was exactly this, that it is binary. Okay, what do we do? You can represent your numbers, whatever binary numbers you have, as signals. Okay, signals are used to represent those numbers. And what are those signals? Usually you can have any signal that you want, but the most practical signal that we have figured out is the voltage signal. Okay, we use voltages to represent either 0 or 1. Okay, and how do we do that? We have a series, a set of voltages. Okay, let us say 5 volts and 0 volts. Okay, so high voltage corresponds to a 1 and a low voltage corresponds to a 0. So now if it were an analog system, then 0.1, so if you had a voltage 0.1, okay, what would an analog system see it as? So if let us say we had an analog circuit, what would 0.1 be visible to the analog system as? Anybody?
0.1.
It will appear at 0.1 volt. Okay, whereas in case of digital systems, we have a small range, not a small range, depends on the design that you have. We have a range. Okay, so this is a range where everything here is considered as a 0. Okay, similarly we have a range on the high side where everything here is considered as a 1. Okay, so even if you had this much noise on top of this signal, okay, on a 5 volt signal you had this huge amount of noise, still it would appear as a 1 to your circuit in the further circuit, okay, circuit down the line. Okay, similarly you could have such a big noise around your 0 volts and still the signal will appear as a 0. Okay, so it is much easier. So 0.1 volts would give you a different result as compared to a 0. Okay, but in case of digital systems, 0.1 will give exactly the same result. If we apply 0.1 volts as the input or 0 volts as the input, the output is going to be exactly the same if we have a digital circuit. Okay, in this particular example, not in every case, but in this particular example that I have given you, so it is much easier to reproduce your results, whatever results you have got, independent of temperature or noise or whatever. you will get the same result at the output. Okay, so it is much easier to do that. So that is another clarification that somebody asked. I explained it in the last class, but not in that much detail, but some of you had left, so I wanted to clarify that. Okay, we'll go into this a little bit later on in the course, that why we can have a range, but please accept that for now. So as we previously discussed, 8 in decimal is equal to 1000 in binary. So for computers it is easy to deal with these numbers or signals, okay, but for human beings it becomes a little cumbersome. So we define a couple more number systems, okay. One is an octal number system. Okay, what is octal? What do you think is the base of octal going to be? You might have studied this in your computer science.
8.
8. Okay, so this is base 8. Okay, base is also called as radix. Okay, it is also called as radix 8. Okay, base is also called as radix 8. So so if I were to write this one, so what will be, if it's base 8, how many symbols do we have? How many unique symbols will we have to represent different numbers in this?
8 symbols.
We'll have 8 symbols. Okay, and usually we reuse. You could have those 8 symbols as, you could possibly have them as alpha, beta, gamma, delta. I don't know what others are beyond this, but you could have them as that. But instead of doing that, we use our trusty decimal number system. Okay, we use our trusty decimal number system, and what is that? What do we use? We use the first 8 symbols of the decimal number system. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is your base 8. So what will this number 1000 appear as in 1000 in binary? What will it be in octal?
10.
10.
It will be 10 in base 8. Okay, so let me write it here itself, 10 in base 8. So the easiest way of converting binary to octal is going to be, what do we do? 8 is 2 to the power 3. So 3 bits correspond to 1 octal digit. Okay, so what do? We start from the least significant bit, take combinations of 3 such bits, okay, and that will correspond to 1 octal digit. Okay, so 000 corresponds to 0. So we'll have a 0 here, and 1 corresponds to 1. Okay, so if I were to write the corresponding binary values for these, it is going to be 000. This will be 001, 010, 011, 100, 101, 110, and 111. Okay. So
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, can you explain that part, that we can write 8 as 2 to the power 3? So we are grouping 3 bits. That part I am unable to understand.
Okay. So how many bits do you require to represent 8 different symbols? 8 different combinations, 8 different numbers. How many bits do you think you require?
3.
3.
Yes, sir.
So that is all.
So grouping the binary system into 3 will result into octal system.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Because what are we doing here finally? We are creating combinations. Okay, if we have a 2 number system, then we require we can only create two unique using a single bit. Then if we want to create 4, then we'll require 2 bits, and so on and so forth. So if we have a 8 symbol system, then what can we do? We can have 8 unique combinations. So if you want to use two bits to a 2 number system to create those 8 combinations, how many bits do we require? We require 3 bits. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do we have? So if I gave you this number. So let me give a bigger example. 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 2 no 2 1 0. Okay, and I ask you to convert this into octal. Please do that. अभी नहीं मिटा. So we'll start again from the least significant bit, okay, and make a combination of 3. What is this 110? 110 is
6.
6. Similarly, we have another 110, which is again a 6, and a combination of 3 is 010, which is
2.
2. And then again we can make a combination of 3. If we were to be a little more pedantic, then we'll have 001, which will give me a what? 1. So this is 1 2 6 is 6 6 in the base 8 or the radix 8. Okay, so this number, it's much easier to read this. Okay, but we were not satisfied. We wanted to create a little more compact system. Okay, so so instead of using radix 8, we use radix or base 16. What is that? Anybody knows the name? I'm sure many of you know.
Hexadecimal.
It's called as hexadecimal. Hexa stands for 6, and so 6 beyond decimal. Okay, 6 beyond 10, so 16. Okay, so the benefit of 16 is that it is 2 to the power 4. Okay, again 2 to the power 2 to the power 2. Is that all right? So we have 2 to the power 2 to the power 2. That is 16. And so how many decimal symbols do we have? We have only 10 symbols. So we have 8
10.
10 symbols, and then we have 8 and 9. Okay, so अद्वैत बेटा तुम क्लास में डिस्टर्ब मत करो प्लीज. चलो शट अप. इधर करो अभी मेरे को ये. हाँ हाँ चलो. So we have symbols until 9. Okay, 0 to 9, that is 10 symbols, and we want to add 6 more symbols. So instead of any other symbol, we choose something that we already know, which is A, B, C, D, E, and F. So corresponding binaries are now written, instead of in 3 bits, those corresponding binaries are now written in 4 bits. Okay, we require 4 bits to represent a hexadecimal number. So 0 0 0 0 0 0 and 0. Advait beta, yes, please. बहुत important. So this is 1 0 0 0. 9 is 1 0 0 1. A is which corresponds to 10 in decimal is 1 0 1 0. And 1 0 1 1, 1 1 0 0, 1 1 0 1, 1 1 1 0, and 1 1 1 1. Okay, is that all right? Advait, देखो फिर तुम्हें बाहर निकाल दूंगा. अब तुम डिस्टर्ब करोगे तो तुम खाली इससे नीचे लिखो, इस लाइन से नीचे, इससे ऊपर नहीं लिख सकते. ठीक है, इस लाइन से नीचे लिखना है बस, क्योंकि तुम्हारी हाइट कम है. ठीक है, चलो. हाँ, उस लाइन से ऊपर मेरा है, उससे नीचे तुम्हारा है. यार बात समझो, अब मैं बाद में समझाऊंगा और ज़्यादा डिटेल में. चुप. So we have these all possible combinations using 4 bits that you can make. You can only make 16 combinations. All the 16 have been written here. We have obviously have a certain logic to the way we are doing this. Okay, we already discussed about that logic in the previous class. If you were to you could convert these into decimal or whatever you want to do, but let us do this example here also and convert this into hexadecimal. Okay, convert this into hexadecimal. So how do we do that? Instead of making combinations of 3, we'll make combinations of 4. Okay, so this is the first combination, the second, 1 2 3 4. Okay, the third combination. So 0 1 1 0 is what?
6.
6 again. So 6 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 is B. Okay, and 0 0 1 0 is
2.
0 0 1 0 is 2. Okay, so it is even more compact. So in base 16, this number corresponds to 2b6. Okay, so it is even more compact over here. Is that all right? So now let me ask you, how are you going to convert this into a decimal number? If I were to ask you to convert this now, or let us do the other thing. If we wanted to convert this into binary, what do we do? If we wanted to convert each of these numbers into binary, what do we do?
Write the corresponding 4-bit binary.
Yeah, so in this case, we'll write the corresponding 4-bit binary code corresponding to each of these digits. Okay, and similarly, we can do that for an octal number where we'll use 3-bit codes. Okay, so if we could easily write those codes. 6 so we'll start from the least significant bit again, least significant digit. 6 is 6 क्या है 0 sorry 1 1 0 again 1 1 0, 2 is 0 1 0 and 1 is 0 0 1. Okay. So let us say I have a number in decimal given to you. Okay, I give you number, let us say 25. Okay, in decimal, and I want to convert this into binary. How do Advait, तुम्हारे लिए जगह बनाई ना, उसको मिटा के दोबारा लिखो. If you wanted to convert this into binary, how do we do that?
Divide it by 2 and then note down the remainders 1 or 0 from.
I know probably 90% of you know that we can do this, but anybody understand the logic behind it? Why does that work?
Sir, if we write it in the similar form, like expand it as 2 to the power this multiplied by this, that form, then and we divide successively by 2, the values that we get would be corresponding to the remainders.
Good, very good. So any number can be written as a sum of exponents of a different number. Okay, it does not really matter. You can write this as a0 2 to the power 0 plus a1 2 to the power 1 plus a2 2 to the power 2 plus a n 2 to the power n. Okay, we can write this number. We do not know the value of n right now. It does not matter. We can write this as a series like this. Is that okay? Where any of these ai's, okay, ai belong to this set of either 0 or 1. Is that okay? Any whole number can be written in this form. Does anybody have a doubt about that? Do you agree or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any number can be written. Again, is this 2 to the power 0 is 1. So we can also write odd numbers. Okay, everything else will give you an even number, but we can also write odd numbers because 2 to the power 0 is 1. So if we have 1 over here, so we can also write odd numbers. So all whole numbers can be represented using a series like this. Okay, so now we agree with this. Now if I divide this, let us say I divide this whole thing by 2, what do I get? Everything will be divisible by 2 except this number. Okay, except this, everything will be divisible by 2 if I divide this by 2. So what will I get? What will the remainder be after doing the division? doing a simple division, what will the remainder be? Remainder क्या होगा इसका?
A naught.
It will give you
A naught.
A0. Okay, so if you divide by 2, the remainder is going to be A0. Okay, again you divide it by 2, what will the remainder be?
A1.
Now,
A1.
again the result is divided by 2 again. Okay, whatever the quotient was, we divide that by 2. So the quotient now has 2 to the power 0 in it. A1 into 2 to the power 0. So it is going to give me A1. Similarly, A2 and AN. Okay, so if you keep dividing by 2 and keep writing the remainders from the right to the left, okay, if you keep writing the remainders from right to left, you are going to get the corresponding binary number. Okay, that is the definition of a binary number. Okay, what does this mean? If you are having this particular number, what does this mean? This means if we write it in this form, in this is again in base 2, what does this mean? This means A0 2 to the power 0 plus A1 2 to the power 1 plus A2 2 to the power 2 until AN 2 to the power n. Okay, so let us do this over here and convert this 25 in base 10 into binary. What will it look like? गलती हो गई, अब कोई बात नहीं. So let us start with, अब तुम उधर लिखना, ठीक है, यहाँ पर इस बॉक्स में.
Sir, 11001.
Okay, let us do. So if we divide by 2, we get 2 12s are 24 and the remainder is 1. Okay, so remainder is 1. So we'll write the remainder over here. Now 12 divided by 2 is 6, remainder is 0. 6 divided by 2 is 3, remainder is 0 again. 3 divided by 2 is 1, remainder is 1. Is that okay? And 1 divided by 2 is 0, okay. If you were to think about it in that manner, it's 0 and the remainder is 1. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is in base 2. So if you were to think about it, what is this? What does this one correspond to? This one corresponds to an 8. This one corresponds to a 16. So 8 plus 16 is 24 plus 1 is 25. Okay, and if you wanted to convert this into decimal, how do I do that? What do I do if I want to convert this into a decimal? ठीक है, नहीं मिटा रहा था. If I want to convert this into a decimal, what do? I start from the least significant bit and write down this whole thing. Okay, so 1 into 2 to the power 0 plus 0 into 2 to the power 1, 0 into 2 to the power 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power 3 plus 1 into 2 to the power 4. Okay, so this is 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 8 plus 16, which is 25 in the base 10. Is that okay? Anybody has a question here? So this is not the only way of converting. This way you can use to convert to any other radix also. Okay, you can use this to convert to octal or hexadecimal, anything. Okay, because the logic is the same. So instead of dividing by 2, you will divide it by 8 or 16. Okay, and you will get the same similar results. Okay, if you wanted to convert from decimal to octal or hexadecimal, you could do a similar method. And obviously converting from these octal, from decimal to octal or hexadecimal, you'll use the division method, and for converting from octal or hexadecimal to decimal, then you will use this method. Okay, instead of 2, you'll have powers 8 to the power something or 16 to the power something. Okay, let us do that. Let us try converting this. What does this give you? So this is 6 into 16 to the power 0 plus, what is b? b क्या होता है?
11.
In decimal, it is 11. Okay, 11 into 16 to the power 1 plus 2 into 16 to the power 2. 16 squared is 256 times 2 is 512. Okay, 512 plus 16 11s are 176. 16 ठीक है, 176 plus 6. So we get 694 in the base 10. Okay. Now please try converting this into a decimal, this binary number into a decimal, and see what you get. क्या आ रहा है भाई, बताओ.
So 694.
ठीक है, हाँ,
Same number.
you get the same number. Okay, let us do it. So it is 0 into 2 to the power 0. I'll get rid of that. So 2 plus 4 plus 8 nahi, plus 16 plus 32 64 nahi, then 128 256 nahi, then 512. Okay, so we get 512 plus 128 is, what is this, 16 48 48 250 50 54. So this is 54, and these two are 0 1 4 640. 640 plus 54 is 694 base 10. Okay, so all of these are representing the same quantity in different forms. Hold on a minute. Hello. Huh? Sorry, there was an urgent phone call. Anyway, where was I? So we are representing the same number again and again in different forms. Okay, and the reason we are worried about these numbers, please understand that we are not doing it because we are interested in mathematics, so the binary mathematics or anything like that. We are doing it because that is how we represent numbers in computers, and that is the basis of this course. Okay, we want to see how computers deal with those numbers. Okay, how they do addition or do make other decisions based on these numbers. Okay, so I had given you a homework exercise last time. Hopefully you had time to think about it. Can you tell me the disadvantages of using uh, what digital systems?
Sir, the power consumption is very large as there are multiple steps involved in the digital signals.
Okay, but the that is no longer an issue nowadays because the power consumption we have reduced it so much. Usually, it is the opposite. Analog systems consume more power.
And sir, the synchronization also needs to be very high.
What do you mean?
Means we have to synchronize the data in a proper manner.
Yeah, that is an issue. Yeah, there are not many analog systems that have ability to deal with data in this form. So that is all right. But let us say a good analog system was available. How is digital system uh, disadvantages compared to that?
Sir, we interpret various things like sound as analog signals.
Yeah.
So there is an extra step of conversion from digital to analog signals so that we can understand them in case of digital systems.
Yeah, there is a school of thought of that kind. Like in audio signals, the physical records LPs are making a comeback because people think that the audio that you get from those is of a better quality as compared to the digital signal. Although it may be indistinguishable to our ears, but there is a feeling about that the analog signal is better. So that is one point. Very good. Anybody else?
Sir, some of the bits may be lost.
Some of the bits may be lost. Yeah, that is true. It is not completely means obviously you have to convert any signal into a digital form. Then you are obviously going to throw some bits away, some information away, because that is impossible to completely capture, because any single piece of information will require infinite number of digits or bits. So that is all right, and that is right. But the point is that it is indistinguishable to human ear, or even many software programs cannot distinguish between some bits that have been thrown away or not. So that is an issue. But some people feel that way, that analog, because it, even if there is some errors associated with the capturing of the data, still it gives you a better sound quality. There are not many proponents of that in video though. Video, there is no coming back of video cassettes or even film. Yeah, film is still there a little bit, because some people they want to capture the old aura of the movie, so they actually they don't need to. It is more expensive to capture, to make their movies on film, but some people still do that. Anybody else?
So quantization error, like, because almost every signal is an analog signal, it is first need to be converted into a digital signal, which may
Yeah.
not be very much accurate since you're converting it into only two sets, 1, 0 or 1. So that and then converting it back again into an analog signal. So the entire process, there is not, like, we do not get exactly the same signal that we were to like encode.
Yeah, very good, Aditya. We were just discussing this just now, that, about this quantization itself, but you're right that quantization is a problem. And depending on how accurate you want your data, that might be an issue or may not be an issue. But yeah, you're right. But does anybody have anything to, a little more philosophical question about repairing your stuff? Do you think that digital systems have made it easier for us to repair our things, or they have made it more difficult? Let us say you buy something, it breaks down.
So it should be more difficult.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it has made our life more difficult. And not only because of the complexity, but because of the way the companies are building their systems. Most companies, they want you to buy their own product again. Okay, they don't want you to repair it. They don't care about the environment. They have their environment PR guys, but they don't care. Finally, they want you to buy another iPhone next year. So they make sure that it is almost non-repairable. So if you don't know, nowadays both Samsung and Apple are creating systems such that if, let us say, you have a working iPhone, okay, with a broken screen, okay, one iPhone with a broken screen. So you have an iPhone, okay, the screen is broken, okay. You have another iPhone which doesn't work at all, okay, doesn't turn on, but the screen is fine, okay, and we know that, okay. But if you take out the screen from this iPhone and put it into this, it will not work, okay. It will give you an error because they have hard coded the serial number of the screen and so on into their own into the chip itself. So it will only work with that single screen which is now broken, okay. So this has no purpose for the consumer other than to give more money to Apple so that Apple repairs it. You cannot repair it on your own, okay. So but phones are not a big issue, but many of these, like last time I was telling you that cars and all, okay, cars are practically now computer controlled, okay. Everything is controlled by the computers. So not only cars, even high-tech tractors that are used and other agricultural equipment are all now computer controlled. So the only person who has access to the software which tells you the whole diagnostic information is the manufacturer itself only, okay. So they have monopoly over whether you can repair your own car or tractor or whatever, or means you have to go to them, okay. So that is another way that digital systems have caused problem for us, that we really do not own anything, okay. Even you might have seen these big hoardings throughout your own towns. They're all printed on plastics, okay. So those printers, they have a chip or they are connected to the internet, and the printer manufacturer can turn it off anytime they want. They usually have a yearly contract or something like that. So remotely they want, so although the equipment is in your house but you cannot use it, or your own shop, but you cannot use it. So that is another disadvantage. I have many other things that I think that there are disadvantages with digital systems, but in any case, you get an idea that how digital systems have made are the devices that we buy controlled by somebody else. Okay, so that is what we have for that. So now let us move on to binary arithmetic. ठीक है.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, if we have a base 5, then it will be easier for the people to store data. So why we don't opt for the number that's in which we have the facility to store data more easily, like base 5, 7, and these kind of numbers?
Base 5, 7. What do you mean?
So like we have binary. So similarly, as we store in the binary system, we can
Yeah.
we can store the number with base 5 also.
Yeah.
So won't it be easier to store the data in that case, as binary require more number of bits and all?
No. More number of bits is not the problem. More number of levels is the problem. So please understand that. Let us say you have 0 volts and 5 volts. Okay, you have a system where your 1 corresponds to and 1 corresponds to 5 volts and 0 corresponds to 0 volts. Okay, let us say you have a system like that. Now, how much noise tolerance do you have? Let us say that up till this values you can have, so your noise can be this much and still it will be recognized as a 0 by the system. And similarly, you can have this much noise and still it will be recognized as a 1 by the system. Let us say this is 4 volts for this particular example, and this is 1 volts. Okay. So number of bits is not really the problem. The number of levels is, because as you increase this voltage, what do? You increase the power consumption of the system. Okay, nowadays your processors are no longer limited by the speed in one sense. Okay, they are limited by how much power you can release, okay, as heat. Okay, as you consume most of the power consumption in all of our electronic systems is lost as heat. Okay, and the higher you increase this voltage, the higher is going to be the power consumption. Okay, and this much noise tolerance you have in, so you can think of this as noise tolerance. Okay, it is also called as noise margin. Okay, this much noise is acceptable to you. Now if instead of a 2-level system, forget about 5, even if it were a 3-level system, what do you have? So if it were a 3-level system, let us say you had 0, 1 and 2 corresponding to 5 volts, 2.5 volts and 0 volts. Okay, let us say you had a 3-level system. Now what will be the issue? Can you see any issue here? Who was the person asking the question? Can you
It would be
make
more prone to errors, I think.
Yeah, because obviously now you will have a smaller region where you can have where it will be recognized as a 2. Okay, this will be a smaller region because again, finally the overlap matters, how far we are away from each other. That is how we decide that which is acceptable. Okay, similarly, your noise margin is going to go down over here as well as here. Okay, so the same, if we were to say that we do not accept any voltage higher than 5 volts as our the highest value, so your noise tolerance goes down. Okay, so please understand that number of bits only adds complexity, it does not add errors. Okay, which is more detrimental to us, or more importantly to the computer. Which of these two is more detrimental, error or complexity? On a in a reasonable scale. Who was the original person asking the question? Praful?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Praful.
Sir, error will be a greater problem.
Yeah. So even if you 3 bits is not going to give you too much benefit anyway. Okay, you are only going from 2 bits to 3 bits. So number of digits or bits is not going to reduce drastically. Okay, so this does not benefit you too much, but still your error, the possibility of error has gone up significantly only in going from 2 to 3. Now if you go from 3 to 4, your noise margins or noise tolerance is going to become even smaller. Is that okay?
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we want it to be, so a system of 2 levels gives us the best. Although it adds to our complexity, overall complexity, but it does not really add to, but it gives us the highest noise margin possible, and it makes our life easy also, because there are only 0 and 1, multiplying, dividing, all those things are much easier, and making those corresponding circuits is also easier when you have only 2 possible symbols. Okay, so I was talking about binary arithmetic. So addition is done exactly like we do in what, in decimal number system. And so 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is what? 1 plus 1 क्या होगा? 1 0. Okay, which 1 0 in binary corresponds to 2 in decimal. Okay, exactly the same. Now subtraction is a little more complicated, again similar to, but it's exactly the same as so 0 plus 0, sorry, 0 minus 0 is 0, 0, 1 minus 0 is 1, 0 minus 1 is what? क्या होगा? Again same as you have in so you'll have to borrow a 1 from the left. Okay, once you borrow a 1 from the left, this becomes 1 0. So it is going to give me 1 after borrowing 1 from LHS. Okay, from the left hand side, once you borrow a 1, this 0 borrows a 1 from the left hand side, then you get a 1 0. 1 0 minus 1 is what? 1 0 minus 1. What is 1 0? 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, this is after borrowing 1 from LHS. Okay, and similar, exactly the same as you have in decimal. And 1 minus 1 is again, sorry, not 1, 0. Okay, multiplication same, 0 times 0. 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 1 is 0, 1 times 0 is again 0, 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so let us forget about division for now, and let us try adding a couple of numbers. So let us say 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. Okay, let us add these two. What do you get? So 1 plus 1, again we'll use the same methodology as we use in decimal. So we'll start from the right hand side. Okay, the least significant bit is this. So 1 plus 1 is going to give you a 1 0. So 0
1 0 0 1 0.
So 1 gets carried over here. Good. So we get a 1 0. 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is again 1 0. 1 gets carried over, and we have 1 plus 1 is 1 0. So 0, 1 gets carried over. 1 plus 0 is 1. So we'll get 1 0 0 1 0. Okay. Let us do the convert these into decimal. What is 1 1 0 1 in decimal? क्या होता है? What is corresponding numbers in decimal? 13. Okay. 1 0 1 is what?
5.
5. Okay, 13 plus 5 is going to give you, let us see that. What is this? This is 16 plus 2 is 18. Okay, so we are doing the same thing, but instead of using 10 symbols in decimal, we have only 2 symbols, 0 and 1. Okay, again it has added to our complexity, no doubt about it, but it has added to our simplicity also, because we only have to deal with 0 and 1. Okay, it is much easier to add 0 and 1 or come up with a logic to add 0 and 1 as compared to come up with a logic to add 10 different symbols. Okay, so now if instead of doing the addition, if we were to do the subtraction, क्या आना चाहिए? 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 0?
0.
0. 1 minus 1?
0.
0.
1.
So 13 minus 5 is
8.
8. 1000. Okay, 1000 is 8. Okay, this was not really a very good example. Let us do something a little more difficult. So instead of 0 1 0 1, we have 0 1 1 1. So what is 1 1 1? Is 7. Okay, let us do this. बताओ क्या आएगा इसमें? So 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 1 we cannot do. So what do? We borrow a 1 from the left. Okay, we borrow a 1 from the left. Okay, this 1 gets borrowed over here. So we get a 1 0. 1 0 minus 1 is 1. And we are left behind with a 0 over here. We are left behind with a 0 over here. So 0 minus 1 cannot be done again. So what do? We borrow a 1 from the left. So this 1 gets borrowed here. So 1 0 minus 1 is going to give you a 1. This is 0 minus 0 is obviously 0. So you get 0 1 1 1 0. What is 1 1 0? 1 1 0 क्या होता है?
6.
6. So 13 minus 7 is 6. Okay. Let us do a similar thing. Instead of now this, let us do a multiplication. Again, the same algorithm is used for long form multiplication like we use in decimal. We start from the least significant bit of the multiplier and multiply each of the bits of the multiplicand, and we'll get the corresponding row. Okay, so we start from here. So 1 multiplied by 1 1 0 1, so it's going to give me 1 1 0 0 1. Okay, and put a cross over here. When we move on to the next bit multiplies this, we are going to get a 1 1 0 1. We put a cross here, again we multiply this, so we'll get a 1 0 1 1. Now move on to the last one, which is a 0, so we get a 0 0 0 0. Okay, does everybody understand this? Anybody has a doubt here? What did I do? Nope. Okay, so this crosses are obviously zeros, so 1 plus 0 plus 0 is going to give me a 1. Okay, 1 plus 0 plus 0 is going to give me a 1. 1 plus 0 plus 1 is going to give me a 1 0. So 1 gets carried over here. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is how much?
1 1.
1 1. Okay, 1 1. So 1 and gets carried over here again. 1 is carried over here. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is again going to give me a 1 1. 1 comes here and we get a carry over. Then 1 plus 1 is again 1 0. 1 gets carried over. 1 plus 0 is 1. So please convert this into decimal. What do you get? इसको decimal में convert करो.
91.
Come on, I'm pretty sure you did not calculate it that fast. Don't cheat. So this is 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 1 plus 8. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 plus 8, 16. 11 plus 16 is how much? 27. 27 plus 0 plus 64. 27 plus 64 is how much?
91.
91. Okay, which is what we expected. 13 times 7 is 91. Okay, is that all right? Does anybody have a question in any of this? Okay, then we'll start a new topic in the next class. I don't want to start it right now, which will be 2's complement. Okay, method of addition, subtraction. Okay, we'll do that in the next class, and I'll stop now. If anybody has a question, I can answer that, otherwise we'll stop.
Sir, can you please explain that subtraction part 0 minus 1 again?
Okay. Let us say I want to do this. Okay, I want to do 1 0 0 0 minus 0 1 1 1. Okay, what do I do? I try to subtract a 1 from a 0. I can't do it. What do? I ask my left hand neighbor, please give me 1. It says I am Kangal. How will I give? So he asks his left hand neighbor, please give me 1. Kangal, what will I give? So he asks his left hand neighbor, give me 1. Oh yes, I have a 1. So this borrows a 1 from here. Okay, so we get so this is one combination now. Now this 0 is borrowing a 1 from here. So how can it borrow a 1? Okay, if it borrows a 1 from this 1 0, what does it leave behind? It leaves behind a 1, and this itself becomes a 1 0. Think of it that way. Now this has to borrow a 1 from this 1 0. What does it leave behind? It leaves behind a 1, and this becomes a 1 0. So 1 0 minus 1 is how much? 1 0
One.
minus 1 can be done now, no? Is that all right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So 1 0 minus 1 is how much?
1,
1. 1 minus 1?
0,
0. 1 minus 1?
0,
0 minus 0?
0.
0. Okay. 8 minus 7 is 1. Is that okay? Or do you have any other doubts? Maybe you can I can help you.
Sir, like the rightmost one, we got it to the second right one. Like we borrowed one from the
Yeah.
leftmost,
Yeah.
and then gave it to the second one,
Yeah.
and then we borrowed one from that to make the like right one from the second 1 0.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Okay then. We'll continue on Friday, 2 p.m. Bye bye.